All right. All right. All right. Let's get cracking. You should be able to see my screen. Let me get this recording started. And officially, good evening. Welcome, everybody, to the Market Watch Group Trading Foundation's Working Sessions. My name is Scott. I will be your host. Let's get cracking. Glenn wrapped it up. I'm sure a nice conversation. How's everybody feeling, by the way? How did today turn out? Stopping out, staying in. Everything was fine. I love it. Lee's like, fine. Ain't no thing. Disclaimers. We are not brokers or advisors. We don't give recommendations or advice. This is for education and illustrative purposes only. Let's go look at the platform. Okay, so I have no doubt that to some extent I'm going to overlap with Glenn. So, of course, forgive me, possibly reiterating. But just what did I see? It started bad and it got worse. Sellers opened the market. It got down to here. There was hardly even a hint. Hardly even a hint of buying pressure. You can see just like a little teeny fraction. It was basically all day. Let's go look inside. There's the opening candle. And we sold off and we're like, maybe we're going to stabilize. Maybe. And then right at the end, just a double dose of 1-2 combination. What do we think about the significance of the... Oh, nope, I don't want that. I want to go back to this. What's the significance? That's some big volume down there. So, what are we going to do? I'm going to preemptively come in here, and I'm going to put a little box on it right here, and I'm going to duplicate this guy, and I'm going to say, yeah, we have some sellers right there. Can that get over? I wouldn't say overwhelmed or overcome. Could that be countered tomorrow with a buying day? Sure, of course it could. What else do I know about today? Well, it got right down to that 200-day moving average. Right down to that 200-day. You guys know that if it broke that 200-day, I'm going to go slap a 100 on and a 200 on just to give me the next set of perspectives that I think would be useful. It hasn't happened yet, so I'm not going to do that. I don't think I need to do that. Okay, let me back out of this. What else do I know? This is my last low. Theoretically, this was an attempt, right? It pulled back. It started to turn. It moved. It rolled over. However, when I'm in an uptrend, I'm okay when things like this happen. Same thing kind of happened here. It tried and failed, and then it went. I'm okay with this as long as here, right? If we stabilize above this, which means basically tomorrow, or at least near this. I'm not going to be dogmatic where I'm like, you know what? It touched it by 7 pennies. So no. However, I would certainly would like to see if it can stabilize where it is. Today's overnight price, it already rebounded a little bit, which is exactly what I would expect tomorrow, possibly a Harami day. Right? Where we've got two possibilities here. Well, we've got way more than two, but I'm just saying. We could see it pause down at the bottom, something like back in this area, and that could have more selling. But if we end up inside of this prior day, then and that's holding above the 50, then I'm certainly still thinking we have the possibility for the trend and the everything to hold. However, a couple of other things to think about. I'm like on this hand, And then on the other hand, and yet on another hand still. Today we may have 3, possibly 4 hands. It's magic. Magic. What did I do? Okay. What has happened now? I don't care if it breaks the red line. There's no significance to the red line. The red line is really more helping me understand the angle. But at this point, that angle, if this is the top, the bottom could be way down here. This could hold that red line's trend all the way back, even if it drops further. But for me at this point, I would say I am going to drop my my long-term score this weekend. Yeah? Anyone think about that? This is going to drop to 1 1/4. Am I going to be concerned if the market posture drops? If it only drops like 1/4 or 1/2 point, then I'll be like, okay, we're okay. But if it drops more than that, yeah, certainly. I'll have some concern with that. Absolutely. Yeah, certainly. Give me your thoughts. Tell me your concerns. And if I am touching on the same things you were thinking, but that's a problem for me. Let's go to the daily. Nope. Let's go to the daily. Honestly, this green line is kind of this trend is still okay. We just had a new high. It's still technically at or slightly around a higher low. I'm okay with this. This could actually hold up and not lose any points at all for me on the short term. I actually feel like I could stay at a 1.75. Shaken, not stirred, says Press. Well put. Well put, sir. I hope that's what I am coming across as so far. Meaning this is not dropping because I'm panicking. We have been talking about that green line for weeks. It just happened to be this week. That's going to go. It's happening because I've been talking about it and it's been setting up, and that is what it is. What's interesting is the long term is going to drop and the short term is probably going to stay the same. And people are like, how's that possible? Magic, once again. Volume is already at -1/4. As long as we don't have another day, I don't know. I feel like that's probably still where I'm going to end up. I don't think it's going to be worse than -1/4. It's 3-0. Yeah, maybe. Woo, 3-0. 0-0 is a 0.25. A 0.25. 0-1 is a tie. 0-2 is kind of where you could be either a tie or a -1/4. 0-3, I would say you're at -1/4 to -1/2. I'm going to say that's a judgment call. That's a judgment call. Today was a bigger sell day compared to the others. However, we do expect bigger days on red days. Just the natural tendency. So if I were to say I'm going to keep it at a -0.25 and then I do my sanity check, my sanity check says we started here, we ended here. Sideways. Sideways, and I'm a -0.25. I feel like that's appropriate. Tell me if you're going to argue right now. You don't know for sure because, like Press said, we still have another day. Right now, tell me if you think you're going to argue for it to stay at a 0.25 or drop based on just what we have now. Now, of course, tomorrow, what if tomorrow we get 2/3 of it back and there's a positive volume day? Well, that changes everything, right? Then I'm most definitely going to leave it at a -0.25. Still a -0.25, mind you. I don't know. Do you guys feel like I'm on track with that? So I feel like shaken, not stirred is right. If tomorrow we get a positive day, especially if it has any volume, this could nullify. And then what? Then people who are more than shaken are not going to be thinking about trades. I feel like overall we were waiting for trades anyways, right? All of our other tech-based trades closed last week profitably. I said I'm looking at setups where financials are those trades shaken? Sure are. What trade do we have on from last week? Fastenal looks just fine, right? For at least for our alert trades, that it's profitable still. If you got the early trade, good. If you got the alert trade, you're still making money and it's still holding up, even when the market was down 2%. And it's holding above this old high. I feel good. I feel like this thing's got what it needs to ping. The market holds and goes. This sucker looks muy bueno. I'm sitting in my office in the dark. I just realized my light was on. Someone knocked. I didn't go get the door. It's trick-or-treaters. They probably walk off, look at me in my office, and they're like, uh-huh. I don't know. Literally, I've only had 2 people. They don't trick-or-treat like they used to trick-or-treat, you know? Out here, they do trunk-or-treats. Have you guys heard of that? Trunk-or-treat? They all go to like a church parking lot and park their cars. And then the kids just walk around the parking lot, just scooping up candy. That's it. You just walk around the parking lot. You don't have to walk house to house, neighborhood to neighborhood. Lazy, man. Lazy. Safer. You mean lazier, David. I used to have to carry my daughter. She always had these long flowing dresses. And it's Utah, so, you know, big porches with big steps up these hilly. I'd have to carry her up them. Oh, now I sit in the dark, talk to you guys, and hope the trick-or-treaters pass our dark house by. Okay. Where were we? Oh, you guys know what we need to talk about here. We need to talk about, it's dark now, pretty dark now, just barely. Let's talk about the VIX for a minute. Oh, that's concerning. Right? That's a tough one right there. Now, if you hedged, I need to go further back. We went up, we came down, higher low. If you put your hedge on, there's been no reason to take it off. And today, your hedge is paying off. So that's my first question. Did anybody hold their hedge, and do they have it working for them now? Let me know. This is where it's tough. Missed it? No worries. I mean, this is like thinking about it, process it. What could I have done? Yes, Wilbur. Well done, sir. Love it. They just can all of a sudden just catch it. And you're like, whoa. This thing just got a 3-point bump on the VIX, 2% drop on the SPY. So any puts that got on back here, now where are we? We're right back at this juncture here. Same high. We've been thinking this whole time, what is it trying to do? It's trying to set up a lower high. Just never made the turn. That was something, if you remember, we were talking like, hey, if that lower high confirms bullishness, but it just never got there. Oh, it was so close, but it just couldn't do it. The institutions are always tipping their hand to us. And now you'll notice that not only did it not get that turn, that's what I was waiting for to close the hedge. If it had made that turn, boom, done. Hedge closed, bullishness increased. What else would have been going on? I would have been putting on, if that happened, the market would have been a little bit more bullish at the time, obviously, and I would expect that I'd be putting on some financial trades, maybe a technology trade or two. maybe an industrial to go with Fastenal. It just didn't get it. It just never came across. And now it's like, now it's fighting to hold the trend. Do we suspect that the institutional investors started and retail investors followed suit? Yes. There's definitely, that's typically, right? Because, but realistically, institutions started back in here. They never gave it back, right? So you can really trace it back even here. This was a same low, if you remember. We're like, okay, but it really escalated again. It just keeps on popping. You'll notice to where? To the same level around 23. So if we get to this point and it stabilizes, the last time we got to this point, it stabilized right here on October 8th. Let me do a little switcheroo. Let's go back to October 8th. There's October 8th. Right? There's October 8th. Yeah, I hear some trick-or-treaters. I got to talk softer so they don't know I'm in here. I'm slinking down in my chair. I'm hoping they don't see me. Okay. So where was I? Damn, trick-or-treaters distracted me like that. Press says, I always wondered why it seemed you were hypersensitive about what looked like minor changes in the VIX. Yeah, I mean, you know, it really is. Again, when you think about what motivates what's driving the VIX as an indicator, it's institutional, right? Institutional buyers and sellers with options. Because when the institutions start to hedge, they're not buying a couple of dozen contracts. They're buying hundreds of contracts, thousands of contracts. They're putting pressure on, right? They're where the day-to-day trading on the S&P 500 index options has a normal flow. When that institutional footprint comes, everybody knows it. That's the VIX. It's telling us something's happening. It's not always clear. I mean, there's times where I'm like, holy shit, you guys, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, right? Something. But yeah, I think we've had a pretty good read. It escalated again to this 23 mark. But we had a great trade develop right out of this. I'm still not phased. I still think the short-term trend is intact. We're fine right here. And in fact, last year at this time was just when the market showed exactly what we're hoping to see for this kind of a thing, right? And so, yeah, I would say we need to be thinking about that still. It wasn't here, but it was here. So if we go back and look around September 4th versus September 9th, it spiked, came down, failed, and then turned over. So let's go back and look at SPY on September 9th. Or excuse me, August 9th. So it wasn't here on the 5th. This was the lowest point right here. Right? At this point, we're like, we're not thinking, hey, let's buy. We're like, whoa, falling knife. But 4 days later, here on the 9th, what happened? It went up, pulled back a little bit, and then went up again. And that is subtle. And if it weren't for the help of the VIX, right now, if you go back, do you think we were all like, hey, let's get a bunch of trades on? No. We said, if you're going to do it, now. Otherwise, you miss it. Right? If it's going to happen, it's now or not at all. And you can see that's it. So Do you think that I had as much on right there as I wanted? No, none of us did. We're all like, oh, I sure wish I had more. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Was it 10-8, not 10-9? Okay, 10-8. Yeah, even on 10-8. Oh, sorry. Wait. 10-8 on the VIX? Are my dates off? Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm caught up to the comments or not. Let me see. Sorry, 9/9, September 9th. I almost couldn't get my own orientation there for a second. September 9th. September 9th. Yeah, right in here. Oh, sorry, it wasn't that one. Okay, my bad. This one. Same thing, though, really. Let's go back and look at this 8-5. Let's go back and look at the VIX around then. What signal did we like? Oh, yeah, we didn't like it until here. We didn't like it until here. 823. You can see right through here it came down. And you could make an argument right there for that. I wish I had my drawing tool. Like Press said, it's subtle sometimes. This was a low, and then it went up, and it got to here and came down, and then it was further. But not that one, this one. However, definitely this one on September 9th. So if you look at September 9th, it's the same thought process. There's this low. That's not what we're following. We don't think we're going to get that. If you're going to catch that low, it's going to be very difficult. But can we catch it? Actually, no, that is the one we're catching. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought today. Here. That's the only way we're going to catch it. 9-9. As it fails and turns, that's the only way there. 9-9 and again on 9-19. So you have 9-9 and again on 9-19. And you can see this one here just sort of meandered. It went up a little bit, really didn't give much on the SPY. On the SPY, right? But if you put a trade on, did we get a trade here around that time? No, that wasn't until here. I can't remember what we had. Anyways. No, I feel fine about what we see on the VIX. If it breaks 23, yeah, that's a different ball game. I don't know what to say at that point. We're hopefully, if you have your hedges, you're keeping your hedges. Do I think it's going to spike anywhere near 65? No, you guys know I think that was just like an atrocious market overreaction. Do I think 30 could potentially be in the cards? Yes. If we break 23, I think we could see 30. If we see 30, I don't think that's going to equate to 10%, but definitely 6 to 8, definitely more than we have now. But like I said, let's go look through the watch list because we've been waiting for signals anyways. All this means is you're going to wait a little longer. Yeah, no, I mean, that was insane. You think that they're just jittery, Press? Is that what you're saying? That there's an underlying fear just percolating under the surface? I can appreciate that as a potential. I mean, honestly, I think that's always the market. There's just like a jittery thing, you know. It's the herd. The herd is made up of, you know, whatever it is. Cattle, gnu, antelope. They're all jittery things, man. Like, they're all like, what the? And the whole thing will just turn and run the other way. Twitchy as can be, my friend. Yes. Okay, let's hit the watch list and just kind of see where it takes us. So, Apple reported their earnings, expecting 149, got 164. Still not enough. What are they expecting tomorrow? They're sitting at 221.5. They're down another 4 points. It's less than 2%. It's not like catastrophic, but it is down. So we could, from that point, Aflac, you can see 170 estimated, 219 actual. Smashing. What happened? It's dropping. Why? Guidance is coming back poorly. These guys, Amazon, 144. Or no, they're expecting 114. They got 143. Smashed it. Where's Amazon going to end up? At 197. They're up here tomorrow, back near the old highs. Well done, Amazon. Well done. APO just kind of grinding along. Earnings coming up. App 11. Small pullback. Earnings are coming up. I don't think there's time. AXP, it tried. It's fallen short. Is it bust? No. But it will be soon, right? If this is one you thought about or you took, which would be valid if you did, Bank of America, possibly already busted if you're in it. BK, you can see that these that we are thinking we're going to turn are just kind of either hiccuping or busting. Financials as a group is stumbling. Are they shaken, not stirred, or are they stirred up? We don't know yet. I think it's close though. CMG, you can feel it as you look through our watch list. A lot of things are moving now into these consolidative patterns. You're like, is it going to give me a signal? And all of a sudden you're like, nope, that's it. It's not. It's got earnings. So organically, what's happening right now? We're trading less. We're trading less already organically. I want you to notice that. What else is happening? Well, there is a very good chance. If I lose a quarter here, even if these two stay the same, I don't know. Maybe this drops another quarter and it's a half still, but that puts us at 5 1/4. And then at that point, you're like, or excuse me, 4 1/4. And then at that point, that's 3 weeks in a row of a drop, and you're now down 1 full point. 1 full point is not terrible. Like when we go back and we look at bad times, it can drop 1.5 points in 1 week, 2 points in 1 week. Another 0.5 point, I think we could still survive that. I'm going to be okay with that. Even 3 quarters. Even 3 quarters. Because that would end up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 1.5 points over 6 weeks. Or 1 1/4 points over 4 weeks. But either way, like I said, if you go back and look at really actual bad times, you can see it drops 1.5, and that was in 1 week. 1 1/4 in 1 week, 1 1/2 the next. Right? That's bad. What we have right now, I think it's survivable. Give me your thoughts. Are you feeling like you're going to stay bullish? And I get it, tomorrow's going to have a huge roll. I just want to hear your preliminary expectations. Let's finish the watch list. Oh no. Can you guys all hear me still? I thought it was going to try to disconnect me. Fastenal looks fine. It's still in. FIS. We never could get it. You can see it just went sideways waiting for these earnings. It just couldn't get there. Bitcoin is barely pulling back. Bitcoin looks kind of bullish to me still. GE Vernova still looks bullish. Actually is overextended. Gold pulling back. If you missed the last gold run, when this pull back, let's say this thing pulls back all the way to here, 247, starts to meet up with the 50-day, beautiful. Google smashed it. Now Google's pulling back. Let's look to see if Google can lead. Will I trade Google on this pullback? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Goldman, another financial that just kind of failed to deliver. Home Depot never gave us a signal. Never got to earnings, never gave us a signal. IBM, nothing. Thinking bullish, wanting for to wait for tomorrow, Lee says. That makes sense to me. Down on the small caps, but it was down on the Dow as well. That doesn't tell us much. JCI for industrial, sideways. KKR, I'll tell you what. If there's a financial trade I'm still gonna make, I think this is it. The last one did me well. MasterCard opened up and just gave it all back in a day. What a day. I'll tell you what, if you saw it in the morning, you're like, oh, this looks amazing. How long did it last? Oh, it's so great for 5 minutes. And then it's just like, wait, no. Did it keep falling? No. That was it? No. What a day. McDonald's. Meanwhile, as the fresh onions come pouring into the stores, McDonald's is going to stabilize, get prepared for a fantastic holiday season. Meta. Expecting 519, delivered 603. Still just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. Morgan, like every other financial. Microsoft. Oh, Microsoft. What have you done? What have you done? Not good for Microsoft to have such a lackluster. How bad was it? They crushed? Yeah. What was it? Just bad guidance? They didn't like their guidance? NDAQ looks fine. Netflix still looks okay. NVIDIA, I would still trade NVIDIA. PLTR, I would love to trade it if it wasn't for earnings. Got it. Spending a little too much. I don't know. I think all AI investments are going to pay off. We'll see what happens to PLTR after earnings. PayPal, I think looks reasonable for a setup. QQQ. RTX. It's going a little too far now. Oh, where else do we have a setup? Earnings came out before market at 133. Expectation 143 actual. I think that's fine if you like SO. If you don't like SO, guess what else? Didn't quite turn, but this is definitely one that I'm looking at possibly for an alert even tomorrow. Give me your thoughts about XLU. If you liked the last one, do you like this one? I would think you do. Where were we? SoFi. Overextended. Tesla. Still pulling back, but possibly setting up. TSM. I like it. Setting up. TTD. Pulling back. It's got earnings. I still think KKR is the only one I would consider. UUP pulling back a little bit. The VIX, we already saw it. Let me pull those up real fast. Root. ROOT. I don't know anything about it. They obviously smashed it on earnings, but who would have known? And what was the other one? SMCI. I heard about SMCI, but I didn't see what happened. I got kicked off the island a while back. I haven't looked at it since. Oh, they got battered. Which is crazy. It was down 12% today. So yesterday it was down pretty nasty as well. Accounting issues. Accounting irregularities. Never good. Never a good thing. Honestly, you guys, I still think there's a few signals that I would consider that will hold up. Obviously, we're looking a little defensive as we look at XLU, but we don't put our head in the sand. Walmart's another defensive stock that looks like a pretty good setup, nice trend, possibly looking to start moving again. Materials, I'm kind of moving away from materials. I think communication services look good, but we need to be patient. Energy, I don't care for it. Financials, maybe a hiccup, maybe just getting iffy, a little concerning. Pulling back for now. I don't like staples. I do like utilities. I don't like healthcare. I do like consumer discretionary. Yeah, Fastenal is nice, right? It's real nice. Real nice to see when you're like, oh, everything doesn't look good. And you're like, oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, well, feels good. What are we going to do tomorrow? Glenn will be here in the morning. I'll be here in the afternoon. I had a nice tour of Circle with a Circle representative. We are green to go. I'm hoping to put a little time in to get the platform ready. And we're going to start. Honestly, I think I'm going to go like 3 groups of 3. And I'll have 3 people and I'll send the email and they'll go through an onboarding. And because I'm going to need them to do it like one day and give me feedback. And then that'll alter, okay, what do we do for the next group? So that by the time we get to the 5th group and we have 15 people, the 5th group had a really phenomenal, like, oh, that was so easy. It was like a magic carpet ride into the community. Who's with me on that? You guys feel it? The Circle is going to be, it's going to be awesome. And then as soon as we make the switch, we're going to yank the plug on. This is what I'm envisioning for Discord. An Office Space moment. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. If we could. It's metaphorical, but I would like to give Discord that. The TPS reports. That printer moment out in the field where we put it to rest. Oh, we put it to rest. So I'll be talking about that on Sunday, and hopefully I will have enough to put the first invites out. And I'm thinking like 2, maybe 3 days in between. That would be about 2 weeks. That'll be about 2 weeks starting Sunday, and then we would do a full migration over the next. Yeah, we'll be gone. We'll be done by the end of November. That's the plan. And then we're looking to see a big push to get a wave into the grouping here. Awesome. All right. Well, that's it. Anything else? Did I miss anything? How you guys feeling? Feeling good? I feel good. I'm gonna go duck the trick or treaters and go to the store. Watch a movie in my room or something. All right, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Definitely still looking for trades. We'll see. It's good to see everybody. Have a great rest of your night, as always. Happy trading. Yeah, and happy Halloween.